up, and welcome back to another episode of No CoPay with Annie and Erica.
Your free therapy session for when your insurance runs out.
And this week we are talking about work-life balance. Basically, if you work blood, sweat, and tears into your job and you're still not having enough time for yourself.
An issue plaguing millennials all over.
Yes, the burnout is no joke.
Unreal. How are you feeling?
Wait, we forgot to take the shot.
Right.
Because this is cheaper than therapy. Okay.
Alcohol. And do you have a work-life balance? What is your work-life balance like?
That was like so scripted. Okay, but basically, I would say I kind of like my work-life balance, but I don't think there's too much of a balance to it because I work, like 40 to 50, 60 hours a week, but I refuse to go meet people for happy hours during the week because I just feel like I'm too exhausted and I can't give them 100%, and I wait and put off all my social engagements until the weekend. And I wouldn't say by any chance that I live for the weekend and like Friday is like the best day ever, but I would say that I don't know if that's necessarily balance.
I don't think it's bad to like what you do and dedicate time to doing that, especially if it's paying you well.
That's true, and I feel like I worked very hard to find and set myself up for a job that I love that won't kill me.
Yeah.
How about you? What is your work-life balance like?
I don't have a work-life balance, which is terrible, and now catching up to me. Essentially from 9 to 6 p.m. I work in advertising, and then from 6 to 1 a.m. or whenever I get home, I work as a musical comedian, doing gigs pretty much all over at this point, which is great. Killing it, living the dream, whatever. But I don't have a ton of time to like sit and, meal prep in the way that I used to, or like sit and like make doctor's appointments for myself in the way that I probably should. So for me right now, I'm trying to find the actual balance here between trying to do two jobs that eventually will propel me to get paid for something creative. And I feel like that's a sentiment among artists in general.
I agree.
Yeah, and we have like a lot of artists and actor friends who will either forego the day job to go on auditions and create art and are super happy with that. But then we also have friends who are, receptionists or taking on another parallel career, as they say, and are equally as happy and also trying to find a balance. So, it's hard. It's really hard.
It is hard, and I feel like, giving yourself to work completely is a whole other beast because it's like, yes, even if you love your job, it's like, what's to say your job won't screw you over or let you go or anything like that, and then you're just totally like in the dark.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, but question. I really love my job. You like your job. But for the people out there who continue paying. But for the people out there who absolutely hate their jobs and feel like they're living for 6 p.m. or living for the weekend, what would you say to those people?
Understand that one job is not an end-all, be-all. For example, I was in a day job last year that underpaid me and overworked me, and it wasn't until I started advocating for myself and started seeing the other options that were on the table that I believed that I could do better. And then the second piece of that is dedicating 2 hours, an hour and a half a day to your own personal development, and then on the days that you truly feel burnt out, letting yourself off the hook guilt-free. Because for me, my number one issue was like holding myself to the standard of, well, if I'm gonna work 8 hours for their dream, why am I not being better to myself by working and doing this, that, and other thing? But
Absolutely.
If you can alleviate yourself of the guilt of should and like why didn't I, then you will be in such a better headspace.
No, and I think like for me, I would say to the people who hate it, going off of what you said, something that really sparked something in my head a few years ago was, why would you ever spend 8+ hours working towards someone else's dream, aka your boss's, and you don't even like come home and put 2 hours towards yourself? And that's really hard. I feel like I have a lot of side projects, but I don't really ever touch them on the weekdays just because my headspace is in work, even if I'm outside of work.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I think, you know, if you hate your job, make sure to set boundaries. And, you know, if you're supposed to work an 8-hour day, make sure you finish all your work in that 8-hour day and work hard at your job. But you don't need to give them more time than what's necessary. And on your off hours, do what makes you happy, do what enriches your life. And it goes back to our last show where we talked about self-care.
Yes.
If you do it consistently, you don't have to like splurge like $200 on some self-care to put yourself back in a mindset.
In an extreme case, you know?
Right, seriously. I mean, I don't think that's $200 is even that extreme.
I can look in a direction and spend $200.
Same though. Okay, well, that's it for today. Let us know if you have any tips on work-life balance. Should I be going out to drink drinks on weekdays? Does my work-life balance suck? I don't know. You tell me.
And will I ever be a paid comedian? Tell us in the comments
Yes.
section below.
Okay, well, that's it for our show this week. Cheers. And next week we are talking about post-grad friendships and kind of who you put in your circle after you have no friends.
Hashtag no new friends.
All right, that's it. Bye. We forgot to drink after we cheers, so this is for good luck because if you don't, it's bad. All right, that's it.